Hey, how's it going, guys? It's your boy Tim Brown. So I'm starting a new series called What Else Wednesdays. So this is for people that are looking, hey, maybe you're already doing SEO, you're doing PPC, you have a great website. This is for folks that are looking for what else can I do to bring myself to the next level. I think we should always be going hard and looking for new things. I'm gonna let people get in here a little bit before I start the main content, but what we're gonna talk about today is podcasting. I gotta get the logo in there a little bit. Why you should be podcasting. So What Else Wednesdays is about what else you should be doing besides the stuff that Hook does. And one of the things you should be doing is podcasting. Why podcasting, Tim? Well, it's good you asked that. Jay, what's up, bro? So I'm going to answer whatever questions you guys got in here too, but I want to say why I'm so passionate about podcasts, and then I'm going to give you a tool, a service that'll help you get on more podcasts. Like, I'm not saying you have to start a podcast. I'm saying there's a lot of opportunity if you do podcast that'll affect your other marketing. And everything works together. Marketing is not, it's hard to pay an agency. I know that everyone just wants to pay and then I just get billions of leads. Marketing all works together. And so when people are working on their social media, when they care about other marketing, stuff works better. One of those things is podcasting. So why podcasting? Podcasting does a bunch of things. One of the things it does is it gets links back to your website, and links are huge for SEO. So if you are on people's podcasts, it not only often goes out on their website, a lot of times these things are syndicated and it goes out on 10 podcast websites. So when you're on a podcast, it often goes out on 10 other websites, links back to your website, which links are really good for your website's authority. The second thing is that if you're podcasting, it positions you as an individual, as an authority. So positioning is huge, not only for your brand, because we want to, that's why people spend more money on a great logo, it essentially positions them. It's a beacon of trust for your company. So if you have a great logo, it positions you differently. In the eye of every homeowner, they're looking at it and they're going, damn, this company is good, man. Yeah, love that, Jay. Totally. There's recruiting benefits to podcasting. I think if people see the business owner out front leading the charge, and they see that you care about this industry, that you're not just, you're also like, you have a little extra time. You're capable of doing extra marketing. Like, it means the business is healthier. So it just sends these signals to consumers. Like, and just, we talk about employees and recruiting benefits. We also, the homeowner sees this, and there's a commercials. Like, if people see you out there podcasting, it just positions you differently in their minds. So I'm encouraging all of you today, and particularly the ones that are really forward thinking on their marketing, to maybe crank up your podcasting strategy. And I'm not saying you need to start a podcast. I'm saying to get on podcasts. And there's ways to do this besides just manual outreach, but a lot of you guys have personal relationships with people in the roofing industry that have podcasts. Just a couple that come to mind, Behind the Tool Belt. I know Dimitri has a podcast now. There's Keeping It Rio. Like, there's like 5 other ones that I've seen on Facebook going live, and they're great and they're really good. They're interesting. But you can use this as an opportunity to position you as an individual, as a leader, and in your community differently. Because if people see you on these things and they're like, oh, this person's a roofing industry expert, that really positions you differently. It really puts you in this light that's like, okay, well, I'm going to trust them. And I've seen this every time I podcast, I get like at least a lead. And I know that sounds crazy, but like the ones that didn't get any leads makes up for it with the ones that got like 5. So the point is like, these can be business generation things, and it's not everyone watches the whole thing. I know not everyone's going to watch this whole thing. But like when people see you, it's just they see you in passing on their feed. That's what I think some people are getting a little confused on. They think everyone has to watch every single minute of your thing. They don't. They just see you passing on the feed again, and why is this guy constantly putting out content that's useful for me as a homeowner? And I do think you should be thinking of, like, I think that we're all getting a little distracted. I think a lot of roofing people are getting distracted by, I'm trying to flex to other people in the roofing industry. And I think you should be constantly dead set on how can I bring this back to the homeowner or the property manager. And thanks, Eric. And Diego, 100%. So if you do podcasts, this is something I've been doing lately is like, I am on a podcast that was good. Like I was on Job Nimbus's YouTube podcast. Clip that up 8 times, bro. Clip it up. Put it on Reels. Like no one's watching that whole thing. And okay, so like 200 people watched that video or something on YouTube. But then now on average, like between TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook Reels, 1,600 people are watching each of those videos. Like, whew. I know some of my competitors are going to follow me into this, but you reutilize content from these things. So not only get out there, position yourself as an expert, get on other people's podcasts. You don't have to start your own. I think it's great to have your own, but also reuse stuff from each of these podcasts. So I think that's the reason I love podcasting. And I'm doing What Else Wednesdays for those of you who are watching now and didn't at the beginning. I'm doing What Else Wednesdays because other things that people should be doing besides SEO, besides PPC, besides websites, which are the only three things that we do. So I'm trying to encourage people. We'll talk about, hey, we're going to talk about direct mail on here. We're going to talk about anything else that's not something we do. And I'm just reminding people like everything works together in marketing and push into these different things. Now, some of you want to hear this tool that I've got. There's ways to get on podcasts at scale. There's a tool called podcastbookers.com. And so I just want to shout out to them. They just added a link to our website on their homepage, so I got to shout out to them. But honestly, it's a great service. I'm really happy to recommend them. They essentially like get you on 2 to 4 podcasts every single month. So but you guys can go out there and do it now for all of the connections, like send messages and stuff like that. But these guys will consistently get you on podcasts. They make a one sheet for you, and then they just do all the outreach. So for those of you that really want to take the bull by the horns on podcasting, that's just a great way to just put it on autopilot, and then you just have to show up and add value. And a lot of you guys would add a ton of value just in a business entrepreneurial way. So if a roofer was to start a podcast, would they keep it about their territory or make it national? So this is a great question. Like I was kind of saying earlier, I think a lot of roofers are making the mistake of focusing too much on the industry, on talking too much to each other. And so if there's any change you could make on your social today, people in general, I think in the Facebook roofing community, I think it's, how can I make this more about the customer today? I think if there is a way to do that on podcasting, like it might be about that city. You know, it might be about that city and less about roofing. And it might be something that's really interesting. If you're in commercial, let's say, it's about property management in San Diego. You know what I mean? I'm saying like you have opportunities to potentially see how you could position that. I can't think of exactly how to do it at this moment, but I think the biggest question in marketing is who is it for? Who is it for? And once you know that, everything opens up. And I know you think about this, Eric. So who is it for? Get obsessed with who is it for, and then make the name of the podcast, the positioning of the podcast, the audience of the podcast about that. And if you decide it's for roofers, I mean, it's a little easier to get guests. It's a little easier to, make it useful to you. And you want this podcast to be useful to you too. You want to learn from this. So I think that's one of the other parts about podcasting that's awesome is I learn all the time. If I have a podcast, I'm learning so much all the time from the people that I have on as guests. And I'll be honest, Diego's on here. Like, I get to be on their podcast soon, and like just having Hunter and just different people on my podcast, like it always like cranks open my mind. And no offense, like these people won't necessarily talk to me unless there's a reason. So this gives you a reason to talk to people and for them to want to talk to you and to give value. So it's like, to be real, it's a little bit of free mentorship. So thanks. And this is one of the big things I think a lot, like Diego just said, whether they do business with you or not, it's a valuable relationship. The more we can get out, I'm going to say we just because I don't want to be confronting you, the more we can get out of this mindset of like, I need leads tomorrow. I need leads. And into this mode of like, I'm building my brand, I'm positioning myself as an authority, and I'm doing stuff that's useful to my customer. The more you do this stuff, the more leads tomorrow happen. They happen all the time. They're happening, like, the more you get out of this scarcity mindset, the more you get into I'm adding value to my ideal customer, leads just start flowing in. And I think that that's like a reminder. This is What Else Wednesdays. I'm just throwing these in here occasionally for the people that are joining. And it's about other things you should be doing besides SEO, PPC, and websites. Because we have a pretty confined set of services. So I just want to keep on talking about the other cool things. And sometimes it's the stuff we're doing for ourselves that's not easy to scale out. So I just want to say what's up. This is a new series. Comment. Give it a bunch of hearts if you want more of this. If you want more What Else Wednesdays. Because maybe this will be the last one. But maybe this one will be the start of a new vibe and a new series. So if you guys like it, say what's up. Comment. And hey, Byron, what's up, man? Hey, I hope you're doing good, bro. I've been wanting to talk to you. Anyways, y'all are awesome. Thank you so much for saying what's up. I really appreciate any attention that I get from you guys on here. So thank you very much. I don't take it lightly. I'm trying to add value all the time into your feed. I'm going to keep on working on it. Thank you, guys. All right, guys. Bye. Oh, shit. Diego, you added a good point. I know a couple people are going to pop out here. But if you're a biz dev person, it's a disservice to your company not to have a podcast. That's a really good point. We just put our salesperson, Sydney, on a new podcast called Sales Surge. And she just had a sales guy on there that did $1 million in like the first 5 months or something like that. So go look at my feed. It's a really good podcast and it's short and it's no tricks. It's just him saying like, I show up, I'm nice. I love that. I know you want tricks, but like, it's awesome to hear a salesperson say, I won with no tricks. It's just about being nice and showing up and helping people. And I think it's a really good podcast. So if you're a salesperson wondering how to get to $1 million in 5 months or wherever, check that podcast out. And she's doing that. She gets to have these conversations with smart salespeople. So there's a cool thing there of like, you get a little mentorship through a podcast too. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Thanks for saying what's up. All right, bye.